Hello and welcome back to Rapid Pixel Racing. Then we are at round 5 of the GP1 season and we're at Spa practice session now. So we'll see how this goes. Sorry I wasn't here last week, and a few things on, just couldn't make it to the race to cover it. But shouldn't be too bad. Not too many people coming out. Here's a racing point just making their way out nice and early in the session. 30-minute practice here followed by a full qualifying and then a 50% race. So let's just switch to this racing point and watch as they go round their first lap here. Oh, and he's got on the curb though. That curb is a bit of a killer. You get caught on that curb, you will go round. With Tommy coming around the corner behind him, but it shouldn't cause many issues. He gets well out of the way, nice and early. Nice awareness there to go out of the way, nice and early there. We have a few people now coming out on track. So that means that first round, now it wasn't Tommy, it was Tommy, yeah. First round will now be Tommy then, so we're right on board with Tommy. As he'll be the first one to set a lap unless he chooses to pit. And we'll see what the rough lap times coming in are going to look like. Oh, and then big spin by Tommy there as he comes round a couple of corners at the end of the street. He's got to sit there for a while, a lot of cars coming. Hopefully he doesn't get disqualified in the session. We know what this game's like. And so there's the last one going past the back of 90s away. So we will have a new race winner tonight for the first time this season, because as far as I'm aware, I wasn't here last week, but pretty sure I'll just double check that Lattice won the race. He did, so we will have a new winner for the first time this season. Lattice is not here this evening, and neither is Alex by the looks of it. However, Alex may still be joining the session, I'm not too sure. Lattice may still be joining the session as well, but as of right now he's not here. Let me just see who is here and who isn't. Yeah, so Lattice can't race this week, so we will have a new race winner for the first time this season. So it'll be interesting to see who can step up when he's not here and take advantage of that to take full points. Let's see now, who is crossing the line? We have both Alfa Romeos coming round on out laps. Tommy's probably not going to complete this lap. RPR 4 just started a lap, so I'll ride on board with him for a while to see what it's like, and that is why there's not many coming out. It is going to rain, it is starting to rain. That is why they're not really bothering awfully with this practice session, and it could be a bit of a boring one. If it's not going to rain during the race and during quali, they may not bother to come out, they may just chill in the pits. So it'll be interesting to see. We'll ride on board forward here as he goes up the hill here on the first main straight. It's getting very spread out. Look at the little grip he has through those corners on those mediums. They are struggling already. Abby has retired. That's Upper Rouge. Rob's off as well. I just managed to switch to that mid-crash. Not too sure what's happened to Rob. Is that involving the other McLaren? It might be involving the McLaren there. The McLaren's off as well. Not too sure about that one. And there's Rob just retiring from the session there then as well. So they do seem to all be struggling quite significantly in the rain. I don't think there's going to be many lap times really go in. We're going to see very few people come out as well, I would say. So we'll just ride on board here with Chubb. He makes his way around. And so there's no grip whatsoever. Yeah, I would say everyone's just going to drive their way to the pits now. And possibly just sit there. Look how little grip he is getting on their mediums. And there's Chubb making his way into the pits now. Who else is out there? Multi Pairs is out there actually attempting a lap, however isn't really going that quick obviously in the rain. I think he's just cruising back to the pits by the looks of it. Tommy has just started a lap on the Inters, so Tommy's going to have a little go on the Inters here. Is Gleggy on the Inters? Yeah, so we've two cars out on the Inters. Let's just put this on so I can see what they have fitted at a time. So there's two cars in the Inters, so we'll ride on board with Tommy. He'll be the first person to set a time in the Inters and just see how this lap goes for him. So, Tony was put on the first sector. We did actually disqualify that last lap. So let's go to someone else. Let's see how someone else did. We'll go to the Renault of Gleggy, who has actually disqualified this lap as well. So let's see who else is on a hot lap. RP Macy is on a hot lap, or he just started a hot lap. So Tommy's further round his. So we'll watch RP Macy here to see how he goes through this first sector. Not flat out in the rain, obviously. Runs a little wide, but does hold it on the track. Little bit of loss of grip there, just. So let's see, Tommy's just set his lap. Let's see what he has done. He's done a 1:56.774. So we already know he's top in practice, and he was coming second in practice. There's no way they're beating off tanks. They're obviously winning it was dry. So this is kind of best battle for third now in the wet for anyone that chooses to come out on the wet tires, or the intermediate tires I should say. As we see Mason coming through the final sector here up towards the last two corners. See what sort of lap time he can set on this lap. Small lock up there, but he's gotten away with it. He's not really gone too wide. Not too bad. Kind of slow on the exit. Didn't get the power down very well. And it does just land a 2-minute lap. It's a very, very long lap in the rain, this. So it is. Now, who else on lap? Scotty is coming around to finish a lap here. So we'll see what sort of time Scotty can do. He goes up towards the last two corners. Let's see this one. Nice and clean entry there, that one. And some nice clean last two corners by Scotty. And we shall just cross the line. He does a 1:57.468. And we see Mason has actually retired up at a Rouge here. We'll ride on board with Scotty up towards Rouge to see if we can still see Mason's car, or if it'll despawn by the time we get there. We'll see. I think we're going to be looking to the right and come up the hill. Nothing. It must have already despawned there, so I'm not too sure what has happened then. We'll just switch to, let me see, Chubb is going on a lap, RPR 4 is just coming on an out lap. Who else is out there at the minute? We have a Ferrari starting a lap, and we have a Haas on a lap, or starting a lap. Really, Tommy on a lap here, about to finish one. No, he's going into the pits. So Ferrari on the lap, I think that's going to be, or is it Chubb? So Chubb's going to be the next person across the line here, I think, unless Scotty goes for round 2. So we're right on board with Chubb here to see what he can do. And let's see, Chubb has now involved in that lap, so this lap will not count. We shall see. Scotty is going to cross the line, I think, to complete a lap, unless he pits. So we'll just ride on board with Scotty for the last two corners. Oh, he's ran wide, that'll be an invalidation. So he'll not be crossing the line. We shall go down to Matsi Perez here in the Ferrari. He is invalidated as well. Who else do we have? So we have XL Tiddencan, who has been second in the majority of the races so far, maybe all of them. Let me just have a look. Let me have a look. Series X, I think Kanye's been setting in every race so far. We're probably hoping to claim his first race win, considering that Lavis is not here this evening. He couldn't make the race, so Tin Can will probably be looking to claim his first win of the season. That's not going to help him though, an invalidation on his practice lap. We have Monty Perez retiring from the session in Sector 3, not too sure what's happened to him there. Very wide from Tin Can. Let's see who else is out there at the minute. Struggling a lot for grip in the wet here, Tin Can at the minute, so he is. Let's see now who else is out there. We have RPR Ford out in the lap at the minute, so let's go spectate RPR Ford back racing with us after a break of a while there without racing, so he is. And he runs a little bit wide there, and that will be an invalidation of the lap. They all seem to be struggling quite a lot on that particular corner. So they do. It's an interesting one. Isn't the easiest corner to complete in the rain. We'll switch to Chubb here, just further ahead of him. You see Chubb coming up here, took the last two corners now to complete his flan up. A little bit wider, touched the grass a little bit, locks up the tyres. Would have lost a decent amount of time there. Nice acceleration out of the last corner up towards the line. And he does a 1:57.457. We have RPR Ford is going to be next across the line. Let's spectate him, and he chooses to pit in this lap. He's not going to complete the flying lap. Who else? Tin Can, I think that is, follow him into the pits. Yes, it will be. Who else is out there at the minute? Or is it Gligs who follow him? It's Gligs who follow him in. Tin Can is round in Sector 2. Let's ride on board with Tin Can here. He goes purple in the middle sector, looking like a good lap so far. I think does a 1:53.985. Very, very good lap there from Tin Can. 3 seconds or so clear of anyone else on the wet or tyre, oh sorry, the intermediate tyre. Good lap from Tin Can there. We're seeing a lot of DNS here, probably because of the rain. Rob and Abby have both gone out. John got disqualified, I'm not too sure what that was for. Tin Can just invalidating his next lap there, and made him being the most recent retirement. Who else is out on track? I don't know. Johnny Stokes out on track. Let's ride on board with Johnny Stokes then as he just goes around to start his lap. We also have Can't Be Touched, I think. Oh no, it's Scotty, sorry, just in front of him. Nice looking lap so far from Johnny Stokes. A little bit slow around there, however in the rain you can kind of get away with that because you'd rather not spin or anything. Nice, he stayed well within the track limits in that corner. We've seen so many people run wide down towards the fast lane left-handers here. Not too bad there at all. A little bit wide through that one. Comes down towards the end of the sector. And now onto this long run down towards the end of the lap where you're pretty much flat out. You are flat out in the dry. In the rain you're pretty much flat out. May lift somewhere but you wouldn't brake. Nice smooth braking and downshifts from Johnny there. So he comes around the final 2 corners and accelerates onto the start finish straight up towards the line. And he does a 2 minute 1:2:06. Not the best lap from Johnny there. But it does see him across the line. Let's see who else is out on track at the minute with the other Mercedes. We have Renault spinning on the start finish straight. He has survived there, so he'll probably he'll probably go on this lap. Won't really have lost massive amounts of time because it's wet anyway, so you're not going really quick by that stage of the straight anyway. Smooth up the road, brave up the road as well, not much lifted or braking at all there, brave up there in the rain from Gleggy. And he's got on that curve on the inside. Oh, he saves it. That's a curve we saw so many people spin on all the time. So you do. And he does quite well not to lose it there. Now he comes down this long file out section at the end of the lap, down towards the last 2 real braking zones, the last 2 corners. These aren't really corners to a Formula 1 car. Oh, and he's nearly lost the back end. He gets away without invalidating the lap, so he will be able to finish it if he chooses to. He is choosing to. Obviously he hasn't done a lap time yet, so there's no delta on the steering wheel for us to go by. He does a 2:10.75, quicker than Johnny Stokes, slower than RP Amazing. However, obviously these are all wet times, not really representative of what will be happening in the race. Let's see who else is out on the lap. There are both Mercedes out. We have Johnny and Chubb out on the lap at the minute. Tin Can just retiring there. That's in the pits though, that looks of it. No sort of crash or anything. We have Chubb and the Haas of Tommy Berry close. Oh, spin for Chubb. We'll go on board to that, see what's happening. As he just clips into the wall there. And he gets away again without any actual damage, I think. Yeah, he does. See who else is going around. I'm glad you hear an invalidated lap. We have Johnny Stokes just about to finish a lap. No, he's going into the pits. We have Alex obviously in the pits. Who else is out there? We have Can't Be Touched on an out lap on the full wets. Can't Be Touched, put the full wets on. And we have him in Dutch face on the intermediate. So it'll be interesting to see what Can't Be Touched can do on the full wet tire. Just watch this one. We'll be right on board once he gets round his out lap and see how the full wet shapes up on this track in the current conditions. See, we still have Tommy and Chubb out there. Tommy has started a lap. Chubb's headed to the pits. And Gleggy has started another lap. Another wee slight spin. Well, sorry, not spin. Slight loss with the back end. Really did catch it quite well. I want to spectate Tommy as he comes down the straight here. Nice clean lap this from Tommy so far. As he comes down towards the end of sector 2. So what we're going to do is we're just going to switch off Tommy and go watch Can't Be Touched now. Because he's going to start this lap on the full wet tires, I think. Yes, he is. And we'll just run on board to see how those full wets are looking at the track at the minute and see if it is full wet territory yet. As we see a purple first sector from Can't Be Touched on those wet tires. That is a good first sector from him. Down to sector 2. He does seem to have a good amount of grip on those full wet tires. They do seem to provide them good grip through the corners. Small lock up on the Atlas there, goes slightly wide, but he's got away with it. Won't have cost him too much time. Nice line through there as he comes down towards the end of sector 2. Keeping it well within the bounds of the track. Going on to this long back straight section, well, pretty much straight. Very little lifting or no braking, very little lifting through there from This is shaping up to be quite a good lap. Goes around the last two corners and gets the power down. What shall it be? It is a 1:58.398. Good, let me see, 5 seconds off the pace of Tin Can. And as Tommy retires, that's also in the pits by the looks of it. The slow moving Ferrari, just chilling, just making his way around the track, I think. Has he lost the front wing or anything? Let me see from this angle. No, he hasn't. So he is just making his way around nice and slowly. Oh, there's only 43 seconds of practice left. That is why. As we count down to the end of practice here, then there won't be anyone else complete the lap then, as I don't think Can't Be Touched is on one. Oh, he is on one, but don't think he's going to complete it. He just seems to be, well, never know, he may decide to. As Camry Touch crosses the line there, that will bring an end to the practice session. Everybody is finished. Foreman Touch is just entering the pit. So once he gets pushed into his pit garage, everyone is finished and practice will end. He's retired from the session, so that should be it now. Just wait on the game registering that he's finished. We have Gleggy out on track, that's what I was waiting on, but he is on an invalid lap, so he can't do anything. And as then Gleggy just comes into the pits, that will bring an end to the session here then. And there's the final stands there, and you've Aladafia at the top with a 1:47.3 and GCO second. Both times were set when the track was still dry. Tin Can coming in third, Scotty in fourth, Tommy in fifth, Chubb in sixth, Can't Be Touched in seventh, Maisie in eighth, Gleggy in ninth, Johnny Stokes in 10th, and McDutchess in 11th. Everybody else below that did not set a time, with John getting disqualified from the session. Not too sure what that was for. So that's us now, and we will head on to qualifying, where I think it's meant to be overcast. It's the weather I'm meant to be hearing. Meant to be a dry track though, so yeah. So here we go, start off qualifying 1. Or maybe not, it says lap 1 of 3 at the top. Has the set. Oh, here we go, qualifying 1, 18 minutes on the clock. And we shall see who's going to be first out of the pits then. Let's just change this to fastest lap. Get the lap track map full. Lap data will enable. And we shall then see, we'll see what's fitted as well. So we'll do that, and then we'll see who's coming out. Oh well, I said a lot of issues. It's Q1 actually, so we'll take off the fitted and we'll have more of the screen visible. See if anyone's coming out early doors. If McLaren seems to be getting its way out there, I think that is. Yep, McLaren coming out nice and early. Let's see which one that is. It is a Brooker Bronco making his way down the pit lane to be the first car out on track, so we will follow him round. He has hit the wall there. Any damage? I don't think so, no. So we'll just follow Brooker Bronco then as he comes down and around the track, because he's first out. Unless he gets past, he'll be the first to set a lap. So Tommy is now the first car on track, so we've switched to watching Tommy, because we want to get the first one across the line ideally, so we can see what the base pace is going to be on the softs. Well, we haven't seen anybody do a lap on the softs and the dry yet, obviously because of the rain in practice. Probably invalidate. But shouldn't invalidate his qualifying lap because it is only in sector 2 and it's nowhere near the end of the lap, so he should be fine. So he's straight down towards the last 2 corners here. Then we'll just go. I'm just gonna be quiet then, and we'll just go and ride on board with Tommy through his first lap of qualifying here. There it is, Tommy across the line is a 1:44.6. I think next across the line is going to be Ford. No, he's invalidated, so that means it will be Brooker. It will not be Brooker, it will be Hugh. That's correct. Let's see. So he does a 1:45.156. Next across the line is going to be one of the Alfa Romeos. It's going to be RP Amazing. There's a 1:47. It's then going to be Rob. Followed swiftly by Brooker Bronco, so we'll not time to switch who I'm watching, but we'll see which one of them this is or what times they do. Rob does a 1:46, Brooker Bronco does a pit lane manoeuvre, he hasn't stayed out. The Racing Point does a 1:44.094, very good lap time there from the Racing Point. Jana in the Racing Point there, 1:44.094, good lap time, 6/10 clear off Tommy. Next across the line is going to be Scotty in the Alpha Tauri. As he does, oh, he hasn't actually done that time, must have been validated that lap there. So we'll just ride on board with Scotty then through this lap to see how he does. Scotty invalidates that lap as well. I think that was the second attempt. It's not the best start from Scotty there with only 10 minutes now left to qualify. 11 minutes, sorry, left to qualify. Seen some a few more times come in. The other half across the line, Audrey Fear did a 1:44.7. Multi Ferris across the line just in the 1:45.1s. John across the line 1:46.1s. and Abby drawn the line, across the line 1:43.0, and Tin Can crossed the line right up there with a 1:42.425. Very good time from Tin Can there. Let's see, is anyone else on a fast lap? Did you see I was retired from the session? See if we can get an onboard from Can't Be Touched here of what's happening, because the car is just round the corner. He's just binned it into that wall. So he has there. This here Can't Be Touched probably just going to head to the pits. There's will be a time most of them start to head into the pits. We'll see who's out at the minute. We have Ares on a lap, McDutchface on a lap. Who else? Someone Chubb is, I would say, not on a lap after joining them there. Algeface on a disqualified lap. This Jones on a disqualified lap. So that means we only have Ares and McDutchface actually on a flying lap. Along with Gleggy actually, but he's further behind, and Can't Be Touched who's further behind. So that means first cross line is going to be Ares. So we'll watch Ares here as he comes up the back straight. And there you go, there across the line, 1:44.017. So that means he goes to 4th. We have McDutchface will be there next, I think, to cross the line. 1:29, or I didn't even see that time there. 1:14 is after sector 2. It was purple there, so this could be a good lap from McDutchface. McDutchface does a 1:42.939 there on his lap. Let's see who else is out there at the minute. Lots of the bottom guys, lower down guys haven't done a lap yet, alright. Let's see. We're just going to ride on Bo Alex here for the rest of this lap, and then we'll see. There's Alex Crofts-Landveer, 1:43.249. See who else out there at the minute looking like they're going to complete a lap. We have Reggie just on a 1:47. Oh no, that was an invalidated lap. We have a Mercedes off, so that's Chubb has had an incident. I'm not sure if he's had front wing damage. Not. Let's see if we can get a front of the car angle to see that from the. No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, he seems to have got away with it. Next, coming up behind him, we have a Haas of Tommy. Is Tommy on a lap? He is. Let's see what Tommy's lap comes out with. It's 4 minutes left in quali then. Everyone's set a lap time except Johnny Stokes. RPR Ford is out of the session. So he is. So we'll just see what sort of lap time Johnny Stokes can set then. There we go. There is now 3 minutes 13 left in the session then, as we make our way through to the end of qualifying 1. There's not too many on track in the minute, so Johnny Stokes is going to get a nice clear track for his lap. He may catch up to Rob in the Alpha and Gleggy in the Renault, but they're not on fast laps. They should really get this way. This will follow Johnny then round his lap here. He comes around onto this another purple set. It's looking like a good lap. Should get him well up the standings and out of the dangers of the bottom there. Which could push Giudicio, who has retired, into the drop zone. Remember, the top 15 go through. So if Johnny Stokes gets a lap in here that's quicker than a 1:45.1, Giudicio will be out. Well, he's out anyway because someone else has just improved. I'm not too sure who that is. It is Rob has jumped up to 14th. And Johnny Stokes goes first with a 1:42.256, 2/10 quicker than XL Tin Can. So it's now Rob right on the cusp then, as we go into the last 1.5 minutes. We have Gleggy stopped on track. Not too sure what all that's about. I guess it's him trying to stay well out of the way of other drivers. We have Monty Perez coming up behind him, which for what will be his last lap of the session. It'll be interesting to see if Rob can either get this lap. He's 3 + 3 seconds on this lap. So can he get round in time to do another lap will be the question. There's Johnny Stokes right behind him. He's going to move over for it. Quite an easy part of the track to move over that. You see Rob here as he comes around trying to make it to the end of the lap to get another one in. 28 seconds, he should, it could be close, he should though. Oh, this will actually be very close. I don't think he will actually. Which could put Rob in danger. No, he's not trying to. Rob knows he's not making it. And just heads into the pit lane. So, Rob in 15th place, not the driver, in danger. Then we have Monty Perez who is out. Monty Perez is out behind him. I'm not too sure what that was for, but it's out of the session. So, Glady is not going quicker. Rob will survive the Q2 then, because of that then there. Not too sure what has happened to Monty Perez there. But Rob will survive because of that and take it into Q2. Both Alfa Romeo and making out of Q1 and both racing points, which is interesting considering neither of those two teams, as far as I'm aware, have any points. No, so neither Racing Point or Alfa Romeo have any points on the board. You're both making it out of Q1, both drivers for both teams. McLaren obviously falling out there in Q1. They're also on 0 points for the constructors. So interesting to see how they can do this weekend. Can they get their first points of the season over at any of those teams? And there's our final standings. So Johnny Stokes tops Q1, 142.2. Tin Can comes second, Can't Be Touched third, and McDutch Face fourth. Avi in fifth, Scotty in sixth, Chubb in seventh, and Alex in eighth. Eris in ninth, and Jana in 10th. Tommy comes 11th, Alajafia comes 12th, John in 13th, RP Mason in 14th, and Rob in 15th. Then dropping out of Q at the end of Q1, we have Monty Perez in 16th, UGCO in 17th, Gliggy in 18th, Brooker Bronco in 19th, and RPR Ford in 20th. Here we go, it's time for Q2, we have 15 drivers, 10 will survive to Q3, and this is where whatever tyre they use to set their fastest lap will determine what the tyre they start the race on. They have to start the race on the same tyre they set the fastest lap on, the exact same set. So this is where it becomes interesting, who will go for softs and who will go for mediums. Spa isn't a terrible track for tyre wear. If you go start on soft, you will probably just one stop to the hard. If you start on mediums, you may also just one stop to the hards, because I don't think a medium soft is doable. So I don't really think it matters awfully much what tyre you start on, unless you go on the mediums, you hope for a safety car later in the race or something to allow you to get that free stop off. You try and go long and play for that, which is what Rob's looking like he may try and do, as he fits the medium tyres, and so will Tin Can. And Scotty, the three so far have fitted the mediums. Lots of people going out on the softs. We shall see who is first on track. A Haas. It is going to be either Alafia or Tommy. It is Tommy. So Tommy is first out on track. So we shall just let me get rid of that. A ride on board with Tommy then here. as he comes round the first couple of out lap here, the first out lap here, and sets the first time of the session, as long as he doesn't invalidate or anything. So here we go. Tommy comes around here to start his flying lap, which will be the first lap of Q2. Let's see what sort of time he sets on the sauce for this lap then, to give us a base of what we're going for in Q2, if it will be the same or if they're going to go any quicker than they did in Q1. There you go, nice lap so far for Tommy then. As he comes around the middle sector. Looking pretty clean so far. Yeah, purple in sector 2, it would be purple though actually, sorry, because he's the first car on track. There you go then, as he comes up towards the last two corners, then what sort of time are we looking like for Tommy's lap here? When Tommy crosses the line and does a 1:43.6, which he's going to be next. It's going to be John in the racing point. See what sort of lap time he does. It's a 1:46.1. We're going to be followed by Mason, who's actually disqualified his lap. So means John will be next across the line. And there's a 1:44.0. Followed by, it will be Erez. He does a 1:43.9. And next across the line will be Chubb. No, it won't, because he's... excuse me, he's disqualified his lap, which means Al Jafia will be the next across the line. He does a 1:44.2. McDutchface will be next across with a 1:44.0. And then we have Avi coming across the line next. Avi does a 1:42.7 and puts himself top of the times. Next across the line is going to be Rob. As Rob does a 1:45.541, not bad time there from Rob. And next across the line is going to be Scotty, the first of the medium runners. A 1:43.1, very good lap there from Scotty. Only 4/10 off the fastest time on the medium tire. Should hopefully see him through. Next across the line is going to be... is it John? If John stays out for another lap, he'll be next. If not, it will be Tommy. But if he stays out. Yes, John's staying out, so we'll see what sort of lap time he can do here. It's no improvement really on time he's already done. As Tommy went into the pits there. Then coming out we have Erez and Jana very close to each other. Erez is pitting there and Jana has followed him in, so they've both stopped. We have next coming round. It's going to be Johnny Stokes. However, he's not on a fast lap. He is on an out lap on the mediums. Following him is McDutchface. He's already done a lap. So out of the guys that haven't done a lap, none of them were on a hot lap as of yet. So we'll just follow Johnny Stokes around here in his lap so far. He's in currently in sector 2. Going well on those mediums by the looks of it. Oh, and he does disinvalidate the lap there. So that'll end that attempt from Johnny. We'll ride on board with Mazin. He's going to be next to the guys not to set a lap to cross the line. Let's see here. Apologies for the notification popping up there in the top corner. I'm actually just going to turn them off here, so you will just get a blue screen for a second. Just going to turn them off so we don't get any more of those notifications during the race that get in our way. So I will see then as we follow Mazin round towards the end of sector 2. As he gets through the last 2 corners, this is shaping up to be a decent lap from Mazin here. Let's see what sort of time he can put on the board. If it's a 1:44.491, putting him just above Rob and John, and 2/10 off 7th place. Now, who else coming across the line? We have Alex, just went 2nd fastest. With one of the racing points, with Jana coming across the line on an out lap. We have Johnny Stokes coming down to the, or sorry, Chubb coming down to the line. Was that Johnny Stokes spinning I saw? Possibly, but I think he caught it. I'm not too sure. Yeah, it was spinning there, I saw it, but he just caught it. We'll just see, can't be touched here. There we go, can't be touched, just go on and puts himself on pole with a 142 point, or sorry, on top of the standings, Q2. Now on top of the standings with a 142.394. Let's see now who else. He's just going for round 2. Not too sure. Giving a healthy wee toe to this Haas. Now who's that benefiting from the toe? That is Tommy. He's on a light lap, so it won't actually matter that the toe is being given. So the only people on a lap at the minute, Chubb's on a lap. He's invalidated. Alex is on a lap, but he's already done one. He's just chilling his way back to the pits. Both of them appear to be doing the same thing. Yeah, they are. Who else? We have Can't Be Touched coming up behind them. However, I don't see him going for it again. Those tires, it's pretty good enough time. I would say he'll just be saving it. Yeah, he does appear just to be cruising up there. And yeah, as he goes into the pits, so we have the only other person on the lap is Erez, who's just purple the first sector there, as we can see. To see it's cruising around here, so his lap is obviously invalidated. We have the Dutch Faces started one. Tommy is in sector 2 of his. Johnny Stokes on another lap. We have a racing point just heading back to the pits. So next across the line, I think on a fast lap is going to be Tommy. Just going by position on the track. So we'll just ride on board with Tommy here to see what he can do as we tick down just below 2 minutes. Well, that's a purple sector for Tommy, who then invalidates the lap. So that is going to leave him on the cusp. He'll get one more lap in. Hope he's got enough fuel to do one more. Because that's going to leave him very much on the cusp there of dropping out in Q2 here. With Johnny Stokes still has to get a lap in. He's on his one and only lap of the session now. He's just going to ride on board with Johnny Stokes. It's looking good from Johnny so far as he does purple the middle sector. Coming up towards the last section of the lap now in the final 2 corners of the big braking zone. Smoothly down through the gears and through the first one. Small lock up on the way in the second one. That wouldn't have crossed in any time really. And as he crosses the line, he goes top of the standings. 141.9. It's looking very strong from Johnny Stokes today. Very strong this evening from Johnny Stokes in terms of what he's going to do. However, he is 6-7 tenths up in Tingan. He's on the mediums. So the qualifying now over. That leaves Tommy in the danger spot. He's in 10th. He's on a lap. Can he improve? He cannot improve. So this just means if either Amazing or other two improve by 7 tenths, they need 2 7 tenths and 9 tenths. However, Amazing's on the now, they're still on the mediums. He's really trying on the mediums. He's pitting. So if Andy can improve by enough here, Tommy can find himself out. Ennis is already out, Mason's already out, John's already out, and Rob's already out. So it'll be interesting to see, can Tommy survive, or can his teammate, of all people, knock him out in Q2? And Tommy will survive there in order to across the line to stay 12th. So Tommy will survive and make it into Q3. So there's our final standings then in qualifying 2. Johnny Stokes topping the times, with Josh Face second and Can't Be Touched third. Exel comes fourth on the mediums, so we'll start the race on the mediums with Abby and Alex 5th and 6th. Scotty on 7th, and also on the mediums, start the race on them. With Jana 8th, Chubb 9th, and Tommy rounding up the top 10 and going on to Q3. Dropping out in Q2 then, and we have Erez in 11th, first of the free tire picks. Al Jafia in 12th, RP Mason in 13th, John in 14th, and Rob in 15th, and obviously all 5 of them get free tire choice for the start of the race. So here we go, top 10 shooting time. Last 10 drivers, all played for, and who can start on pole. Obviously Tin Camp using those mediums in Q2 and Scotty using those mediums in Q2 means if they can get a high position here in Q3 they will be in a good position. So here we go. Scotty coming out on the track. A few of them coming out. So here we go, as they all make their way around then at the start of Q3 for their first runs. Tin Cam was first out and will be first to start his lap, so we'll just ride on board with him. So here we go, Tin Can starting the first flying lap of Q3 then, and we'll start to see what lap times come in here in about a minute and 40 seconds or so's time whenever they make it round to the end of the lap. So we'll just go on board here with Tin Can and watch him through the first lap here. So, Tin Can has invalidated his lap, which means his time will not count. Tommy will then be the first to cross the line, so we'll see what lap time Tommy can set as he comes up towards the last 2 corners. So it is a 143.1 for Tommy. Next across the line is going to be Jana. See what he does. His time to not count. We'll see who else. Ali goes a 142.3 for Johnny Stokes. Who else is coming across the line? Alex is a 142.8. We have a Ferrari just starting a lap, Alex. Yeah. Chubb is coming round on his lap, so this is not right on board with Chubb. So there's the times coming in now. It's the last couple of times from the first set. McDutt's faced it on 142.2. I'm putting himself top of the times with Johnny Stokes in second and Alex in third. Abby's fourth, Chubb is fifth, and Tommy is sixth. Scotty doesn't have a time, he's in the pits. Jana does not have time, he's in the pits. Can't be touched, is about to finish his lap. There it is, it's 142.352, which means the only person that's left on track then, not through a lap. So here we go, just 10 can on his lap then, see what sort of time puts in. And Tin Can has invalidated about another lap. And there's only 3 minutes 37 left of the session, so this is not looking great for Tin Can. The interesting to see, he will have to pit surely for new tyres. Yes, and it's going to be a pretty quick in and out if he wants to make it round and do another lap. Here we go, so they're coming out now for the final run of the session. It is looking like an interesting grid. So far, Dutchface is putting a very good lap in to put himself up in first at the minute. On provisional pole, about a tenth of a second ahead of Can't Be Touched, who has pretty much the same time as Johnny Stokes in third. We have Alex in fourth, Avi in fifth, and Chubb in fifth, Tommy in seventh, and then Scotty, Excel, and Jana have not set a time yet. Jana's just starting his lap. He will get 2 laps in if he has enough fuel. Scotty's about halfway down this lap. He will get another one in if he's got enough fuel, because obviously he's made a wee mistake there just we switched to watching him. There we go, Sky does a lap of a 142.411, puts him fourth. He is on another lap, so we're interested to see if he can improve. We have a Haas there having issues. That's Tommy having issues, and Tommy will not have time to get round again. So Tommy will not be improving this session. A 143.193 will be his final time. And here goes Tin Can then on his one and only lap of the session. Jana just goes above Tommy. So Tommy looks like he's going to be starting 10th, as long as Tin Can get this lap in. And he will get a nice little toe off Jana, helping a little bit up that back straight, gain a little bit more time there. See what sort of lap time Tin Can put in here at the end of the session. So let's go through and see who's going to be crossing the line first. So it's going to be Scotty, first cross the line. Scotty has invalidated this lap, so Scotty will not get another lap in. Who's next? Avi. Avi will get another lap in, so let's stay a little more with Avi then, as he's going to be first to cross the line out of these final runners here. They're all very bunched up. Could that cost them time? Be interesting to see. So here we go, as Avi makes his way up towards the final 2 corners of the lap. What sort of lap times are you going to put in there? As he pits, so no improvement from Avi. Tommy will not be improving behind him, which means Tin Can is the next to cross the line. Nice and smooth into the last 2 corners. And a good exit there. A little bit of wheel spin. And he goes first with a 141.9. However, others have to come across the line. Alex doesn't really improve. We have a first Mercedes coming across, and Johnny Stokes goes on pole, 147.749. The other Mercedes coming across. Chubb does not improve. Dutchface does not improve. Can't be touched to anything. He's invalidated. He won't be improving. Jana coming through the last 2 corners, and he's going into the pit. So that's it. Johnny Stokes will be on pole for this race, with Tin Can in second and Dutchface in third. So once Jana gets pushed into the pit lane, we'll have our final confirmation of our grid then for the race. So here it is, Johnny Stokes taking pole for the first time this season, 101.41.749, just ahead of Tin Can. We have McDutchface in third and Can't Be Touched in fourth, Scotty in fifth, Avi in sixth, Alex in seventh, Chubb in eighth, Gianna in ninth in the Racing Point, looking to score Racing Point's first points of the season, and then Tommy in the Haas in 10th place. Be interesting to see then how they can do in this race, and if Johnny Stokes can fight Tin Can all the way. Tin Can obviously looking for that first win of the season now that Lattice is not here. However, Johnny Stokes appears he's not going to make it easy for him, beating him by 0.189 of a second there in Q3. So there we go, session get ready to start in the next 9 seconds here. See what they can all do, and see who can do it. So here we go, so they're all lined up in the grid there, the Mercedes on pole with the Renault in second. There's your predicted pit stop strategy. You can go soft, medium, or you can go soft to hard, depending on what you're preferring. Obviously if you're starting on the mediums, you should be pretty grand to go medium to hard, or if you're going to stay on those mediums, you can probably go mediums to softs. Let's see what they're all starting on then. Let's see, tires. So we have a few people on the mediums. Rob's in the medium, or starting from the back. Brugger Broncos in the mediums, so GCO's on the mediums. Rob, Mason, Al Jafia are all on the mediums. Then obviously Scotty and Tin Can, who completed Q2 on them, are both on the mediums. So they are. Obviously we know the predicted strategy is a one-stop, especially if you're starting on those mediums. If you're starting on the softs, you can do a one-stop, or you will have to use the hard tires. So we'll just see. Obviously only a 22 lap race as well, because of the longer lap. About a 1 minute 45, 1 minute 47 on, well no sorry, probably longer than that. Close to a 1 minute, high 1 minute 40s on race pace maybe. So obviously that means it's only a 22 lap race. For us we normally see about 30. So it'll be interesting to see how they do over the shorter amount of laps. So a safety car can obviously play a bigger part because it can take more laps out of it. So here we go, as they put up on the grid. We're just going to set this up for position change to see what we get as we come off the start, and we'll see if we can get a good camera angle on the start of the race. We're just looking at the side of Johnny's car, and if we go to broadcast camera at the minute, so we have to wait for everyone else to get in position. They are all in position now, so we'll see if we can get, oh here we go, here's a good camera angle. and there we go, the 5 lights are out and they're away. It seems like a pretty even start from everyone. Johnny Stokes seems to have gotten away quite well, keeps that inside line. Oh, Tin Can is going to try and run it all the way around the outside. And has he got it? Obviously it's a bit broken up at the minute. I can't see if there's any contact down the back. We'll try and switch down the back. We have a few bits of carbon fibre stuff bouncing around. Rob's dropped a lot of places and lost the front wing and is down the back of the grid. Hujitsu is still got an entire front wing all over the back of that Renault there. We'll just go back up the front, see what the front battle's looking like. I think it's still Tin Can. Tin Can is leading the race ahead of Johnny Stokes as they come up the top of the first straight. Let's see if he can hold on to that, or if Johnny Stokes using those soft tires can battle back to him against this around this first lap. It'll be interesting to see. See if we try and keep an eye on the track map as well, see if we get any crashes or anything. We have got a yellow flag. I think it's just for debris. Oh, we have a racing point round. John is round and spinning. Catches it, doesn't have any front wing damage. So we go back to Tin Can and Johnny Stokes up the front here. There we go, as we come around to complete lap 1, Tin Can does lead the race, Johnny Stokes in second, with Dutch Fist in third. That's the only change in the top 3. Avia's gained 2 places up to 4th, doing well. Can't be touched, dropping 1. Alice has gained 1. Tommy's gained 3, up to 7th place. Bad start for Scotty, losing 5 places, down to 10th. Pretty good start for Ford and UCL, we're gaining 3 and 4 places respectively, down there in 14th and 16th place. And not the best start for Rob and John, obviously, down the back. They're losing 3 and 6. Brooker Broncos now in the pits. Not too sure what's happened to him. As you see the scoreboard messed up a wee bit. It's a wee bit glitchy at the start of the race always. So we have a yellow flag. Safety car is out. We have it is a racing point out of the race. The safety car following Brooker Bronco out of the pits there. Rarely you see it that close to the back. Someone come out of the pits. And this is a nice early safety car. It'll be interesting to see what the strategy play is. I don't think anyone will take advantage of this to pit. There's probably no point. It's too early in the race. But this will then bunch the pack up again. After the early pit stops for the likes of Rob, who had some front wing damage. Is he still running with that front wing damage? No, he had replaced it. So the likes of Rob, who had to replace that front wing, and Brooker Broncos had to pit, and John, who spun it. This is quite handy for them. It does close the field back up after that turn 1 kind of mayhem. So we go, as they all just start to get bunched up. A lot of people pitting, so they are taking advantage of this. Tin Can's pitting? He was on the mediums. Interesting call from him. Putting on the... is that Hards? Not a very good camera angle to see. Let's just change this from position change to current tires fitted. No, it is not Hards, is it? It is Hards, yes, he's away down 13th. Putting on the Hards, Dutch is putting on the Hards. Johnny Stokes continues to take the lead of the race. He doesn't stop. So there are a few people taking advantage of putting on the hards. Obviously go try and do the full 19 laps on those hards without stopping again. Not a bad idea. Probably doable around here. Tire wear isn't awful. Ford's come out of the pits on a set of the softs. And Brooker Broncos then just coming around to catch up to the rear of the pack to bring up that last position. So interesting start. Obviously Axel doing well to get the lead initially. He has then chose to pit under the safety car, putting himself down to 12th position in the middle of the pack. Probably not where you want to be when you're fighting for a lead this early on. Now obviously the pack is quite bunched up. You could get caught up in some form of damage or incident, but it's not the worst either. You also have obviously Johnny Stokes still leading the race then. Abby's done well. We'll just look at the positions gained here now that we all know what tyres they're on. Let's see, where is that? There it is there. So Abby's done well at 4 and Alex at 4. Big gainers then. Hujicio's gained 9 positions, Gleggy's gained 8. Rob's done better than he'd start with. He initially started by losing a few, he then went and gained 2, so he's gained those places back plus more. Can't Be Touched lost 10, XL10 can lost 10, but they have stopped. Chubbs lost 8, pretty sure he stopped. We'll just check, yep. Ford gained 2, he's passed Booker Bronco in the DNF. Who else is there? Monty Perez gained 7, Mason, and Errors all gaining 6. Scotty's gained back the positions he lost, and 1 more. So it's been a good start for some numerous drivers. Everyone's looking in a good position now, and it'll be interesting to see what they do going forward here. So let's just change this now. We don't need that anymore, and we'll just go the interval between them whenever the race restarts to see where the battles are. I think we'll have another lap or 2 on the safety car, maybe about lap 5 that comes in, and I'll make it interesting to the end of the race then. Just see here how they do. Safety car's already still out. It's not really much to talk about at the minute, as it is early in the race. So we're just gonna chill here for a minute, see when the safety car comes in. Ooh, safety car is still out. We're going to find out if it's coming in. Yeah, it is coming in this lap, so we're going to see if the car restarts. Let's see how this goes here now. So let's just change to this top of the grid then, see Johnny Stokes to the restart, and he is going for it nice and early from Johnny Stokes. He's going for it really early, but it has appeared to have worked. He's got a bit of a jump on Avi, 9/10 clear according to the thing, and he's got full for it. Yeah, he's got a bit of a jump. Johnny Stokes is full set and clear already. Worked very well in his favour there. The front of the grid is splitting up quite quick. Monty Perez making a move there on a GCO. GCO is actually dropping down the grid. Has he had a bit of a spin? Switched to, he must have, yep, we see him rejoin the track there. It's not a good start from the McLarens, down 18th and 19th now. And there's RPR Ford retiring from the session. And Brooker Bronco as well. Not too sure what's happened there. Have they had a bit of a collision? There must have been a collision there. Sector 1 yellow flag, no safety car again, so we are surviving that. Jarvis took up on a little gap of 1.5 seconds. See if we can get a bit of information on what happened to Brooker Bronco and Ford here for you. Unless we did dismiss it on the stream there. John Stokes opening up a little bit of a gap here now, nearly 2 seconds clear of the rest of the field there in first place. Avi's getting under a bit of pressure as well from Alex behind here, so we'll just switch to this Avi and Alex battle. This is the one which is a lot closer near the front of the grid, and we'll just watch Alex as he is behind Avi here. Oh, he's going for the move up the inside here into the last 2 corners. He's going to run around the outside of the second one though, which is not an easy one to make, and Avi does just leave him in a nice bit of room there. Nice clean racing from them both. And Alex will now have the inside line into turn 1. Breaks a little bit earlier than Avi, but he should be good. Just rolls that through and rolls that nice and wide to give Avi no opportunity coming on the outside, and that is a nice move by Alex. He is now over 2.3 seconds down Johnny Stokes, so that is a bit of a gap to close. However, I think he will fancy himself being able to do it. The Williams team are looking very strong this season. So basically what has happened is, I got a bit of information there on the Brooker Bronco and Ford crash. It appears Ford had a bit of a spin and Brooker Bronco just got caught up in it, unfortunately for him. Unfortunately these things happen. Let's see here now what other battles are going on down the field. We have Chubb is right on the back, can't be touched in the midfield here. We have Tin Can very close to Dutch Face. Let's see what Tin Can can do. Obviously, I'm still looking for that first win of the season. He's had multiple, well, second place in every race. However, he's been held up by the Ferraris here, which is going to be hampering his race as he's done that early stop. So that will hamper him slightly there. First time penalty of the session for Erez, or sorry, second time penalty of the session for Erez. Gleggy already has one in the Renault. Tried board here with Tin Can as he is chasing down both Ferraris, running 8th and 9th of Ferraris, with Tin Can just down in 10th place at the minute. The Tin Can still right in the back of these two Ferraris. They are obviously the middle ones on softs, so the one in front of them's on softs. However, he has maybe got a chance down here, down towards the route, but it's not the easiest pass to make, and no soft tires, so he's just pulling away. Interesting line from Perez in the Rouge, so it has worked. He hasn't really lost their time. That might be a corner cut warning. But the DRS should open here, and this should give Perez a nice, actually a nice chance. But Perez does also have the DRS off his teammate. It'll be interesting to see if he can fight it back on the brakes. He cannot, no, and Tin Can takes that 8th place and is now chasing down Dutch Face in 7th. However, obviously he has been losing time to Johnny Stokes, so it'll be interesting to see if he can get back in and stay within that pit lane window. I don't know if he's in it now. We'll switch this to leader. He is currently 14.5 seconds behind him, so if Johnny was to pit now, he would come out behind Tin Can. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. There's John retiring from the session. That's Upper Rouge. Virtual safety car is out. That looks like just a solo crash, Upper Rouge, I think. Seeing lots of DNFs here. 4 in the first 7 laps. "18 seconds is the gap now, but that'll probably come down again. That's probably because of the virtual safety car. It does kind of mess around with the gaps slightly. So we go, as the virtual safety car is now away again, we're under racing again. Now we see a few people in the pits. It appears to be Alex in the pits and Avi's in the pits according to this. Alex rejoins in 7th from 2nd place. Taking advantage of that virtual safety car, which gives Johnny Stokes a full nearly 6-second gap to Scotty in 2nd. Obviously them two are teammates in the GP2 division, so a bit of a friend rivalry there, and the guys from a 1st and 2nd in the Mercedes and the Alpha Tower. Obviously Johnny Stokes is still extending that gap up front. It's up just above 6 seconds now, but it is coming down again. Slightly to 5.8. You're just watching Tin Can as he's still chasing around this Ferrari. Let's see here what the interval is looking like. The leaders now 15.5. So it is getting closer. It needs to be about 20 something. Johnny Stokes is in the pits now though. Just interesting to see what the gap is difference like between him and Tin Can when Johnny gets out of the pits. Let's right on board with Johnny to see. He is going into the pit box now, puts on the medium tyre and comes back out as Tin Can just starts to start-finish straight. So Tin Can will pass him, I think. Yes, he will. By how much? Johnny Stokes come out of the pits in 6th, however will lose a position there. This can't be touched. He might lose one to Chubb, his teammate, as well. He will, and that puts Johnny Stokes in 8th place after the pit stop. Oh, but Chubb loses it. Oh, they both lost it. Oh, both Mercedes lose at the same time at the track. Did they touch there? I don't think they did. I think that's just a synchronized spin. I didn't see a touch. I'll just watch the stream back here a second. I didn't see a touch. I think that's just a synchronized spin. Let's watch this again to see what we can see here. I'll just watch it back. But I think that's just a synchronized spin. They just happen to spin at the same time. That's good for XL Tin Can. It opens the race up for him as Johnny Stokes was pressing him pretty hard. Let's just watch this here as we ride on board with Chubb here. Let's watching it back. Give me 2 wee seconds here. I don't see any contact from that angle. I think they just lose it. I'm not too sure if there was contact. Let's see then, as Chubb makes friend of it, both McLarens are going to, or both Mercedes are going to have to pit there. So we'll just go on board with our leader here then, Scotty, as he's leading the race now. A full 7.9 seconds clear of the rest of the field. So Johnny Stokes retires from the session. After that, he obviously doesn't feel there's any point in him driving on, that he's not going to be able to get anywhere in the last 12 laps, as we are half distance to this race already. This is a quick race, it goes in very quick, so it does, as there is less laps. Safety car doesn't help either, it gives you very few actual racing laps. So I'd say that'll be a big blow for Johnny. He does looking like on for a really, really good result there. I'm not too sure if there has been contact. You see Scotty here in a very commanding position in this race. On those medium tires. See here, Scotty is just opening that gap up. We have a yellow flag in sector 2. That's a Renault or a Alfa Romeo having a bit of a moment round the fast left-hander. Amazing. He seems to have caught it though. I can see he's still driving. Let's see what else we have going on here at the minute. There isn't too many close battles. We changed this back to interval instead of leader. There isn't too many really close battles at the minute. Nearest two cars are Can't Be Touched and Alex, but they're a full 9/10 of a second apart, with XL Tin Can closing on McDutch face. Only 7/10 of a second behind, so we'll right on board with Tin Can here for a wee bit of time here until we see what's going on with him in this race. He's obviously on that hard tire and he has been since lap 3. See here, Tin Can is now obviously in the second place. He has completed that manoeuvre on Dutch face. 8.8 seconds behind Scotty. So interesting to see what can go on here. Let's see here what's going on now. Battles wise down the grid, there isn't too much close together. With Scotty just kind of commanding this race out in the lead now. However, I think he still has to stop. Let's go double check that. Yeah, Scotty still has to stop, which pretty much means XL Tin Can is the leading car at the minute. When Scotty stops, he'll probably come out around 7th, 8th. Yeah, I'm probably hoping for another safety car up a Rouge or something, Scotty, at the minute. See here, so we're on lap 13 and 22. Race kind of settling into that middle part of the race. There's not too many close battles going on. We've Gleggy very close to Tommy down here, 11th, 12th. So we'll go right on board with Gleggy for a lap or two. See if we can get any sort of move done on Tommy down here at the minute. me see. Let's see, it's run lap 14 now. Obviously Cleggy's just dropping off Tommy a wee bit, and there isn't too much going on. That's why I'm not really talking much at the minute. We'll see what the runner order is. So we'll do the run order to see who's running where. So Scotty finally makes his pit stop. Actually, so this kind of brings it alive a wee bit to see who's going to jump to where in the standings and where he's going to come out. So it's going to hand Pink on the lead. So it is where he was kind of running anyway. Scotty hadn't pit. So we'll just see where Scotty comes back out of the pits, and then we'll go through to see what is happening with the run order. He should hopefully stay in 6th. I don't think Mason's close enough to get him. Yeah, so Scotty will stay in 6th place. Mason goes into the pits. Errol's will take 7th, that means. So that's now everybody, I think, has stopped. Mason and Rob have not stopped yet. There's Rob getting passed by Perez there. Mason is stopping this round, so yeah, let's see here. So there we go. So let's run through the entire run order then, now that everyone's pit bar Rob. So Rob's out of position because he hasn't stopped. So we'll run through the entire running order and see where everyone is here. So Dinkans in first, gain 1 position, with Dutch Face in second, and Company Touch in the third. All have gained 1 position, all have stopped, and all are Company Touch also hold the fastest lap, and all are on the hard tire. So Alex is then in fourth. He's gained 3 positions. He's obviously stopped, and he's on the medium tire for 7 laps. So he's on the better tire to the front runners. Interesting to see what his interval is. He's getting very close to Company Touch on the better tire. We're right on board with Alex here. We have Avi in 5th. And then Gleggy must have had an incident down there. Gleggy's off. Not too sure what's happened there. The 2 Alpha Romero's running very close. So we're going to have the Alex here, as he's so close to these 2 in front. This will be a 3-way battle for 2nd place at the minute. Abby's in 5th, having gained 1 position there. Scotty's down 1 and 6th. Aaron's doing well, he's up 4 and 7. Tommy up 2 and 8. Rob's up 6 and 9th, but he has to stop still, with Mason up 3, having already stopped. Good race so far for Alfa Romeo. Is that Rob in the pits? No, it's not, he's just being passed by his teammate. And then we have Alfie in 11th. It says 1, but then again there's no line up or down, so he may have just started there, I'm not too sure. GC was in 12th. Up 5 places, doing well for the McLaren there in 12th. So maybe going to get another place off Rob. Maybe points on the board from McLaren, depending on how the race unfolds. Chubb's in 13th, bad race for Mercedes so far. Gleggy in 14th, and Perez down in 15th. Chubb's on a bad race, they're dropping 5 positions, the biggest loss of positions. It's just you're getting a 3-second penalty. That's not going to help us cause their answer. Maybe we could look at the pens, see if anything's going to affect the race at all. So Dutch race at the minute has 3 seconds, which would drop him behind Can't Be Touched, but because Alex has 3, it wouldn't drop him behind Alex. Eric has 6. At the minute, wouldn't drop him behind anyone because all the tier Tonys are full 20 seconds behind him. Producer with 6, which is dropping behind Chubb. Cleggy has 18 seconds, which would drop behind Perez. Even with Perez is 3. And there's Can't Be Touched making a move there on Dutch Fate at the end of the start finish straight to take that 2nd place. This is also brought Alex very close, bit of contact there. I don't think there's any damage. Didn't look like it. Let's turn that off. There we go. Alex just slips through on the inside there and away, up into 3rd place onto the podium. And can he chase down Can't Be Touched now for that 2nd place? That's the question we have to wait and see the answer for. There you go, the gap's now down below a second between Alex and Can't Be Touched. This first starts to get interesting now, I think. Exhale's a really commanding position to take his first win of the season, 3.5 seconds clear of these two. However, this final podium position is really up for grabs and it's going to be the battle we follow for this last 4 laps of the race. We'll continue to ride on board with Alex so he's behind so you can see what's going on, and if need be we'll switch camera to either Can't Be Touched or the broadcast camera to see any manoeuvre that's going on. Staggy picking up another 3-second time penalty. That brings him up across the 20 seconds on penalties mark. There we go, we have a Juicio gaining a few positions there. That's because Rob has finally pit. So he exits the pits in 13th place. Not a bad race from Rob. Pretty consistent, not had too much stuff. We had that accident at the start, but since then it's been pretty consistent from Rob. Down there in 13th, with his teammate running in 9th, looking at possibly the first points of the season. Juicio obviously down there in 11th place, 9 seconds off 10th. Is in the chance, a small chance, getting some points to McLaren. It would need a DNF further up the grid though. He wouldn't, I don't think he'll just be able to gain 9 seconds on the car ahead in 3 laps. We need some form of DNF. Can't Be Touched is driving this very well. We yellow flag at sector 2. Possibly for our Alfa Romeo. Well, I don't see any stopped car there, so we'll just let that continue as is. There you go, Alex is starting to draw off. We at one point, exactly a second or so behind now. So it'll be interesting to see if he can get a nice manoeuvre done here in the last 3 laps, or if he will just settle to take in that 3rd place and another podium for the Williams team. Really struggle through those 2 corners, that puts him 2 seconds behind. Those 2 corners may have just been enough for Can't Be Touched to secure 2nd place. I don't think that gap's going to come down again, so that might be it. We'll have to wait and see. So here we go, 3 seconds now to that. That's pretty much that battle over, I would say, for the last 2 laps. The bigger battle now is Dutchface behind Alex. Dutchface will have DRS to get to the top of this, and can Alex actually hold on to that 3rd place? DRS is open, as we can see. Here comes Dutchface on in. Will he have the speed to go around the outside? He's a little passed, but Alex breaks a wee bit later, and Dutchface just has to settle to stay in that 4th. He will get another go at it to win the next lap, and not the last lap if he doesn't get past next one. We had a brief yellow flag set the 2 and 3 there, not too sure that was for. But it is gone now, whatever it was for. So, this where it gets interesting. Penalties could put Scotty on the podium. Let's have a look. So, currently, penalties are going to put Scotty on the podium. If he can stay there. Be interesting to see if he can do that in the last 2 laps here. Let me run on board with Scotty now for the last 2 laps to see if with these penalties he can stay within the 3-second mark and get himself on the podium here in the last 2 laps. We go there about halfway to a third of the way through the second, the last lap. Interesting to see what's going on here with Alex battling hard with Dutchface over that last position there. However, at the minute it's all in vain because Scotty will be taking 3rd place anyway. However, Scotty's getting very close. He may just infect the pass and not need the penalties at this rate. Whether or not he will risk it with having the advantage of having no penalties is another question. Will he just be content to sit there and know that the podium is his? So here we go, beginning the final lap of the race. Tin Can has just started his, and we have the 3 of Alex. So normally I would watch Tin Can go around this last lap, however, this battle here is too good to miss. I want to see it the whole way up the Rouge here to see who is going to take this 3rd place. Can Scotty actually just make a manoeuvre, or will he just sit behind them and take 3rd on penalties? Hard tire on Scotty to carry a bit more speed up the hill. He's very close. DRS is wide open. There's not going to be any manoeuvre done here by Scotty. Can Let's just get close to Alex? No, he can't. So here we go, as we enter the 3rd and final sector on the last lap of the race. We're just going to switch off this battle and watch Extra Tin Can as he makes his way around for his 1st win of the season. There isn't really much can go wrong now unless he messes up the last braking point, which I do not think he's likely to do. I think there's pretty much 0% chance of him doing that. And here we go, so Extra Tin Can coming up to the last 2 corners now into the last braking zone. 1 corner to go, 1 acceleration point. And there it is, and Axel Tinkan takes the win in round 5 and his first win of the season. Can't be touched coming across the line to take that second place. Third across the line will be Alex, however it will not stay that way after penalties. With Dutchface coming across the fourth, that should jump Scotty up to third. It will. Avi crosses the line in 6th, Erez crossing the line in 7th in a minute. He's just coming around the back straight now. So the last 2 corners from Erez there and across the line to take that 7th place. Once again another big gap now then till Tommy, who's making his way up the long back straight now. There we go, and that's Tommy coming round now to take 8th place. Followed swiftly then by Mazing, coming out to take 9th in the Alfa Romeo, taking Alfa Romeo's first points of the season. Next around to take her points at the minute is going to be Alderfier, unless he gets past, which he's not going to. So that's a double points finish for Haas as they come around there, as well as double points finish for Red Bull and Alfa Romeo. Well, sorry, Alfa Romeo, AlphaTauri. We've Chubb taking 11th just outside the points. Rob coming around to take his 12th position. I think that's his best position of the season, I think. There's Rod taking 12th. Next across the line will be Gleggy to take 13th place. And then 14th Hujisi, who jumps above Gleggy on penalties, take 13th place. And then finally they're bringing up 15th place. When he makes it round, we'll have Motzi Perez in the Ferrari as 0 front wing on that car. And there we go, it's Motzi Perez across the line to take 15th place and the last position in this race, and that's the end of Spa, and we'll see the final running order here. And there it is, there's the final standings. So Axel Tinkan takes his first win of the season for Renault with a double podium finish for Can't Be Touched of AlphaTauri and Scotty of AlphaTauri. Alex comes home in 4th with, for the Williams, with Dutchface of Ferrari in 5th. Double points finish for Red Bull Racing with Avi in 6th and Erez in 7th. You have Tommy in 8th, in the Haas. Alfa Romeo's amazing, taking his first points for the team this season in 9th, with Al Jafia in 10th in the other Haas, rounding out the point scores. Just outside the points with Chubb in 11th and Rob in 12th. GCO in 13th in the McLaren, Gleggy in 14th for the Renault, and Motzi Perez in 15th for Ferrari. Then not finishing this race with Johnny Stokes in 16th, John in 17th, Brooker Bronco in 18th, Ford in 19th, and Jana in 20th. And that's the end of the Belgian Grand Prix then, and that's another week of Rattlebrook Racing done. We'll be back next week for round 6, which is Monza at 8 o'clock next Monday evening.